Hey there, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Happy Sunday. Oh, thank you. Also, thank you so much for being willing to meet me this evening instead of our regular coffee chat earlier in the day. I had really good reasons, though. Instead of joining you for our coffee chat this morning, I went out on a sleigh ride in the elk reserve. Okay. Picture this. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, out in the Teton Mountains. Jackson is in a valley. It's all mountains all the way around us, right? And so you have the opportunity where you can go on a sleigh ride driven by a 2-horse, and they take you out with a really wonderful, knowledgeable, like a National Geographic tour guide who knows the land, the history, the animals, and you spend an hour out in the snow where all around you is just beautiful, picturesque snow and mountains and hundreds, if not thousands, of elk everywhere. It was really wonderful. One of my besties, Natalie, is in town visiting this weekend, and so I wanted to go on this sleigh ride forever, and of course, with her kids, I thought it would be great, and so that's what we were doing, which was so cool. As you just heard, we made it back to Jackson. We picked up our car. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of respiratory issues, so I need to talk a little bit slower. We packed up our car earlier in the week, and we got super fortunate because I don't know how familiar you are with the United States and our central states, but we were going from Chicago, which is in Illinois, and you have to go through several states like Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, to cut across that north central part of the United States. Usually you do not want to be driving through these roads unless you have to during the winter. It is brutal. Those are open plains, 40 to 60 mile an hour winds, the snow. There is nothing as far as the eye can see in these states. I don't know why people live there. It's insane. But we got really lucky in that the weather was blue skies, sunny, and climate change. There was no snow, so it was the least stressful road trip we've ever taken out here. And I was really excited. We talked about this, and I am very excited to come out here and be able to enjoy some time outside of the chaos of the last 5 years. 5 years. It has just been doctor appointments and scans and surgeries and treatment, and just when you look back on it, wow. And I was, even though I've been planning for the last couple of weeks, get everything in order to come out here. Once I got here, it was very emotional. One, because I had dreamt that when I came out here, that my wife and I were just going to hold hands and hike off into the mountains. I suppose I don't know what I was thinking, but my physical body is not capable of any of the things that I was thinking. I'm having some respiratory issues, and oh, all of my muscles. One, from the respiratory issues, all those muscles in your back, and then like through here, down here from coughing, and I have been using my muscle relaxers. I have finally popped that lid. Very, very much falling in love with them. But I think arriving with a body that is a bit frailer than I had dreamt of, and then just everything quieting down so quickly, I guess, when we got here, because, the last couple of weeks I've been planning to come out. That means that I had to get things in order, so I had things to do. And I thought I was going to come out and enjoy the nature with my wife, and I would just hang out and put music on and do art and things like that. And instead, I had a bit of a emotional, I don't know, an emotional like, oh, shit, we really are in a position for the first time where there isn't anything killing the cancer. There's no surgeries plucking it out. There's no ablations burning it. There's no chemo killing it. And so, pardon me. The reality of that kind of hit this week, and I let it come. I let it stay for a little bit, and then I left. And I reminded myself that for right here, right now, this is the place that I want to be. What's very nice also about my friend's visit this weekend is one, because it was an emotional week, it was very nice to have my friend here with her family to obviously distract the mind, but also it's very nice to have these opportunities to celebrate life, particularly with my friend Natalie, who has so generously agreed to be my power of medical. You met my friend Laura last fall when it was the road trip, when we went to Vermont and Maine. Laura and my friend Natalie, who's here visiting, are part of my death plan. I like to call them, I know there's such a thing as like a death doula, but I like to think of them as my death managers, right? Because, one, I strongly believe this in my recommendations for getting yourself ready for managing your own death. Power of medical. This should be a decision that you consciously make and talk to the other person about. I am not of the opinion that, one, you should leave yourself without a power of medical, because how do you know that you have the same values as whoever is going to end up making those decisions for you, right? So let's say you just leave it and a parent comes in or a sibling comes in and maybe they don't have the same values as you do. They're not going to make the decisions that you want. Also, I think that assuming that blood makes you responsible for doing this for someone. So what I mean by that is your parent assumes that, well, I don't need to make any plans or do anything because my child will just take care of everything because they're my child. But what if you haven't talked to that child in the last 20 years? Really? That's how you want to manage things? You know what I mean? And also, too, I think I'm just a big proponent. The reason that my wife is my power of medical. But should she choose or need to tap out because she just can't handle whatever the fuck is going on at that time, she deserves to have a tap out. And that is where my friend Natalie comes into play. And my friend Laura comes into play because she is going to be propping us all up. The two of them, we met last week to confirm everything. And, what I'm talking about is during my death, I don't want my wife to be inundated with friends and family needing information for themselves or wanting to reach out with good intentions. How can I help you? Tell me what to do. When you just don't want to put anything on that person, right? And so that's part of it. So managing that communication, managing what's going on in the household, pretty much, creating that bubble around my wife and I so that we can, do the things that we need to do. And that's funny. I feel very strongly about this because I'm a kid that lost a lot of friends to AIDS over the years, and I remember so many of these men being left abandoned to their disease. Really specifically, if they had sky fairy parents, because their sky fairy parents would say, like, you deserve to have this suffering death because my sky fairy says that you're not worthy because you're gay. So in having witnessed that, having witnessed so many people, there's so many of these men experiencing this horrific months and until the end, and then these parents would come out of nowhere, or siblings, demanding their right to make decisions about that dying person or that dead body. It was this really, really very profound, obviously had an impact on me. And so that's why I feel very strongly about having a death plan and having the courage to put these things into place. And so it is really nice to have my friend Natalie here this weekend, where we are laughing and enjoying each other. And as we, just went through this very emotional planning, one of the last things I had to cross off the list before I came out here. So, anyways, even though I'm a little slowed down from this thing happening, I do have plans to head into the forest with my friends and some kids tomorrow. My wife's going to go skiing, and with my friend's husband, and it's just going to be a really, really wonderful weekend. It's why we came out here. It's what this is supposed to be about. That's perfect. All right, well, I'm going to lose my voice here soon or start coughing, so I'm going to let you go. Next Sunday, I promise, I will be here. I will meet you for coffee chat. Yeah. Okay. I will see you next Sunday.